Morning, everyone. So today in our readings, we'll hear a few stories about forgiveness. First, we hear about Joseph, who helps his brothers even though they were really mean to him. They sold him into slavery. But they came to Egypt for help, and Joseph is the one who showed up for them. So rather than getting back at his brothers for what they did, he forgives them and helps them find food. Then we hear this parable Jesus tells us in the gospel. There's a slave who owes another man money, but his debts get forgiven. He doesn't have to pay it back. But rather than going out and helping others and forgiving the debts of other people, he is mean to the other slaves, and he demands that he gets the money he's owed right away. And we know that's not very nice, and Jesus doesn't want us to be like this slave. So, today is all about forgiveness, but what does forgiveness really mean? Well, to help us learn, I thought we could use yet another story, a story many of you are familiar with and love. Frozen. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I will say there are spoilers ahead, so you have been warned. So this story revolves around two sisters, Anna and Elsa, and they're princesses. And we know that Elsa has magical powers where she can create snow and ice. And the movie starts off when they're kids and Elsa and Anna are playing, and then Elsa accidentally hits Anna with an icy blast. And then Anna actually gets really, really sick. But luckily, some magic trolls are there to help Anna get better. But they have to remind Elsa how powerful she really is. And snow and ice can be fun and pretty, but it can also be really dangerous. So, to protect her sister, Elsa hides away her powers and hides herself from her sister. So we see in the movie too that their parents get in a big boat accident and they end up passing away. And so because of this, Elsa is set to become queen. So they have a coronation and they have a party to celebrate the new queen. And during this party, her and Anna get into a fight and her powers come out. And since they can be influenced by fear, it scares a lot of people when they see all this ice come out of Elsa. So she ends up running away. But Anna knows she has to go find her sister. She can't just let her be alone. So she goes on this adventure, finds some new friends, Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf, and then they finally find Elsa. But Elsa wants to be left alone. And she doesn't want anyone else to be hurt by her powers. But Anna won't listen, and she wants to help her sister, so Elsa eventually has to just kick her out. But in doing so, she accidentally hits Anna again with an icy blast. But this time, it gets Anna's heart. So Kristoff tries to take her back to the trolls, but they say only an act of true love can save her. So, just like any Disney movie, they think it must be true love's kiss. So Kristoff knows that Anna has a fiancé back home, so he has to take her there. So once they get there, she finds Hans and tries to get her true love kiss, but nope! Turns out he's the bad guy, so that option's out. But then Anna realizes that she actually loves Kristoff. So she goes out and tries to find him, but there's a huge snowstorm going on that Elsa has created. Because at this point, Elsa has been kidnapped and brought back home and tried to be arrested for treason. So while she's out in the storm looking for Kristoff, she sees Hans ready to kill Elsa. So rather than going to Kristoff ready to save herself, she runs to her sister to block Hans and his sword. And by doing so, Anna not only saves her sister, but ends up saving herself because she did an act of true love for her sister. Now this is what forgiveness looks like. Forgiveness looks a lot like love. Anna had every right to be mad at her sister, just like Joseph had every right to be mad at his brothers in our first reading. But Anna loves her sister and wants to help her no matter what. As Olaf puts it, love is putting someone else's needs before yours. And that's exactly what Anna does. That's what we see Joseph do. And that's what Jesus tries to get us to do as well. Because Jesus does that for us. Jesus forgives our sins. Jesus doesn't want to get back at us for all the bad things we do. He just wants to love us. Olaf says, some people are just worth melting for. But Jesus takes that one step further and shows us that we are all worth melting for.